Those were the days. And now those days are gone. Space Jam: A New Legacy, directed by Malcolm D. Lee, who's also known for some classic films like Undercover Brother and Roll Bounce, and one of my personal favorites, The Best Man. And the film stars LeBron James, Don Cheadle, and Zendaya, and a whole lot of other stars. So Space Jam: A New Legacy follows superstar LeBron James and his son Dom as they get trapped in a digital Warner Brothers universe. And once again, the Looney Tunes have to help out and join in a game of basketball against our new evil antagonist. So the level of cringe and cheesiness in this sequel had me literally clenching my teeth. But before I go in on it, honestly, there were some good things, there were some good moments in the sequel. Now, not many for me personally, but there were a few moments that got like a little chuckle out of me. And honestly, that's really about it. There's not really much that I can say that I enjoyed while watching this film. I mean, the visuals did look pretty cool, but that's only because the technology they used back in '96 in the original has tremendously improved. So I don't know, you don't really get much cool points there, but it was nice for them to put that new technology to work in the sequel. And because of that, you know, there's a lot more crazy, cool types of effects that they can play around with. But even with that said, this movie was bad. Like, it was pretty terrible. And they added a lot of callbacks, of course, from the original, which was kind of cool, I guess. But the movie was just so bad that it really didn't matter. I think the original worked so well for that time period to me because it was more straightforward. There wasn't a ton of pointless drifting around where the movie was going all over the place. Like, for example, in Space Jam: A New Legacy, I guess they thought it would be a good idea to have all of the different Looney Tune characters scattered throughout all the different major Warner Brothers IPs, like The Matrix, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, etc. But this aspect made the movie way too cluttered, and I think that was one of the bigger mistakes with the sequel. And honestly, I felt like it was just a little too late for this movie, or a lot too late. Like, I don't know, maybe 20-30 years too late. I mean, like in '96, Jordan was still playing basketball and very relevant. The Looney Tunes were also very relevant. The soundtrack for the movie was a fucking grade A '90s soundtrack. I mean, we're talking about I Believe I Can Fly. We're talking about For You I Will. Space Jam, the theme song. Hit 'em High. Fly Like an Eagle. I mean, come on, Fly Like an Eagle. Also, the sequel is completely centered around LeBron, whereas the original, the fame seemed to be balanced between Jordan and the characters, because once again, during the '90s, both sides were equally relevant. But the Tunes now have to take a back seat in the sequel because unfortunately, they just aren't as popular anymore. So I'm giving Space Jam: A New Legacy a 4 out of 10. There's definitely some nostalgia here, but for the most part, your childhood is being slowly dismantled by this sequel. I don't even like the new digital animations. I much prefer the old school animated look for the characters. But there's honestly just a ton of issues with this sequel that I'm not even really gonna get into because it would take all day. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. But anyway, Space Jam: A New Legacy releases this Friday in theaters and on HBO Max. But there you have it, and if you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Thank you for watching.